Hey, it is the recording for Sunday, December 20th, the fourth Sunday of Advent.
That's right.
We are in the Gospel of John.
You've entitled this devotion, "What is Truth?" And I'm gonna play with this in the sermon today.
Yes, you are.
But if we look at your second series of questions here, what is your definition of truth? Can our definition of truth change depending on our circumstances? Why is it so important for us that God's definition of truth never changes? I just let's talk about our perspective on actually what we read in the scriptures.
Right.
In this particular account of John chapter 18, Jesus is standing before Pontius Pilate, and he says, probably 37, or you want to read before that?
I think the context is that Jesus says, my kingdom's not of this earth, and I'm not here to fight because my kingdom's not of this world.
Okay, and Pilate says, "So you are a king," and Jesus says, "You have said so." But he says, "Actually, I was born and came into the world," verse 37, "to testify to the truth. All who love the truth recognize that what I say is truth." And Pilate responds,
What's truth?
What's truth? That's right, because truth is for human beings a consequence of a lot of environmental factors or
circumstantial evidence,
emotional forces, and
past hurts and regrets and broken filters and the circumstances we find ourselves wallowing in.
And often what our version of the circumstance requires, that is what the truth that we would follow, is often dictated by either pressures from other people or, more specifically, the path of least resistance.
Yeah, and we use that word truth very loosely there, because it's not truth, because there's only one truth.
There is one truth. It belongs to whom?
And we've said correctly, it's Jesus Christ, who not only speaks truth and shows truth and acts in truth and responds in truth, but is truth.
Truth itself cannot do anything or be anyone else. But you set up this circumstance when we were talking before we recorded. You said, so here is Pilate, broken human,
Absolutely.
Unbeliever, standing, looking at truth in the face.
Yes, literally staring truth in the eyes.
And he says, "What is truth?" And Jesus could have said, I am truth. But he didn't. He resisted, and I think because it probably would never have made a difference to Pilate. But this is the scenario that we play out in our lives at the point of decision making all the time.
Yeah. Minor, major things in our life.
How do we play this out in our lives?
We stare Jesus in the face because he embodies us. If we are believers, truth is with us, and we ask the question, what's truth? Is it going to be my truth that I'm going to believe and listen to, or is it going to be your truth that you've already spoken?
Yeah, the real truth.
And anything else that isn't him, if it's not truth, it's a lie.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as half-truths or kind of truths or 50% truth. It's either true or not true.
So because Christ has made his dwelling in us by his Spirit, and because Jesus is always truth, therefore his Spirit is always true in us, here we have really, in an ongoing basis, we are presented with, at the point of decision making, we are presented with the opportunity to ask truth, the one we're staring in the face, what to do, who to serve, how to handle this particular issue, and instead of trying to figure it out on our own, or trying to figure out what's the easiest thing to do, or the least resistant thing to do, or what would please most of the people, all that, and come away with, again, something that's less than truth. We have the opportunity to invite truth, whom we're staring at, to speak to us about this.
And it's always going to be the right answer.
And he's always going to provide the right power to not just submit, but to walk in this way with him.
And it's his joy to do it. It's his joy to walk in the truth.
Yeah.
Because that's who he is. And so we never have to say, that doesn't sound like what I want, or that doesn't sound like...
It may not be what you
Yeah.
want. That's the point.
But his idea, for Jesus, the truth was he's beaten and wearing a crown of thorns and a purple robe.
True enough.
And his truth was, I'm going to the cross. And for Pilate, it was, my truth is washing my hands of this whole thing just to please whoever I can. And we are faced with our Pilate moments daily. And our question's going to be, will we stare truth in the eyes and believe what he says, or will we wash our hands of it all and find ourselves down the road thinking, why didn't I listen to you when you spoke the truth into my life?
And what are these consequences about? And they will always be about the decision that we chose to pursue our own version of truth.
And never beyond his reclamation. We are walking reclamation projects, and he doesn't hold anything against us. He doesn't hold the fact that we sometimes don't listen to him against us. He says, I can take what you do, because nothing's impossible for me, and I can make bad
work for
good.
Yeah.
Because no one is beyond my reach. No decision you make is beyond, because there's no condemnation of me. And that, my friends, is the truth, that he is always for us, never against us, even in our disbelief and unbelief. Look at Thomas. Even in Thomas's disbelief, he still is proclaiming the truth to him.
Sure.
And it just took Thomas that split second to remember, and Peter that split second to remember, even in our failures, his truth rings louder.
So if we put this in context of Christmas,
let's do that.
Okay, we walk with truth. We always have the opportunity to ask him, what is truth here, and to follow him. He is giving us truth as a gift every single day. Will you receive it?
That's the question.
God bless you as you do. We've enjoyed our time together with you.
Yeah, and you got a bonus 8-minute content again. And so
there you go.
We knew we wouldn't be able to do it before. But you said it rightly. Will we listen? Will we?
Will we?
Have a great rest of your day, and we're looking forward to celebrating the gospel, or the Christmas story according to Paul, coming up soon. Have a great day.
See you.